sir. Hey man, we gotta clap it up for him. One more time, let me get some more claps. Listen, let me tell y'all something, right? So, yeah, as you have heard, this is the Hood Theologian Podcast, right? And so look, I don't know if my title updated because I was so amped to make sure I got on here. I've been 20 minutes late, but I'm here, right? And for all the upgrades, all the you know what I'm saying, help Brandworks is giving, Boss Set is giving. Shout out to my sponsor, Life Over Death. They gave me more stuff, but I had to wear this, but I got the wristband on, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the sponsors, you know what I'm saying? Real for real. Clap it up for y'all. I couldn't do it without you. You know what I'm saying? So, listen. I want to tell y'all something, right? I know somebody was asking me last week, how do you be getting music played and you don't get copywritten, or however you say it, by Facebook? It's a secret. I tell you. And no, it ain't no licensing deal. I'll have one day. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Good Wisdom from, you know what I'm saying, my folks. They deserve claps too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna cap y'all down, right? This is not, even though I'm the person that y'all see, you know what I'm saying, directly in front of y'all, there's a lot of people that are helping me out behind the scenes. I can't not acknowledge them, right? One of which I'm gonna show y'all. I forgot to put it. The biggest help to everything that I do, and I'm not saying, I know this is gonna sound weird, but first of all, let's just get a big hefty a big hefty applause to my helpmeet, my ace, my homie. I'm not pulling up this website right. That's why I don't. Oh, yeah. Anyway, big hefty clap and shout out to my road dog, Miss Leah DeLee Hendricks. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably one of the most complicated individuals because I have so many thoughts and trying to do so many different things at one time. And you know what I'm saying? Get one of these two. But yes, so like I was saying, the biggest outside help I have is like I said, Brandworks. I just want to show y'all this amazing Ike. What's happening? Appreciate you stopping through. Let me know how I sound, y'all, too, because I just want to make sure it's not choppy and everything for y'all. But check this out. This website for our company, the Brandworks Group. Brandworks is the official name of the group, but handles everything I do. You know what I'm saying? And without the vision behind this, you know, I would just be a random individual, you know what I'm saying, not really having any kind of structure, not having things as well put together as they you know, should be, right? So, you know, it's brought to you by the Brandworks as well. Can't understate that. Um, and listen, everybody that has liked so far and has shared, like I said, this isn't the title. The title was not Piece of Down. That was last week. I don't know if you see it or not, but I can't look at my phone because my phone is. But the title this week is Who Dat, and yes, let's bring the music back. Let's bring the music back because on Sunday, my Atlanta Falcons showed the New Orleans visitors exactly who that was. Y'all heard this song before. And listen, when I say, okay, we'll fix that. When I say, listen, it was not a, it wasn't even fair, right? Like at the time that I looked, it was like the kicker was the only person scoring. You know what I'm saying? And Unika, thank you for stopping through. Appreciate you, Shalom. The kicker was the only person that scored the whole game for the New Orleans visitors. So thank you for showing up. Even Jameis Winston was out there dancing to the music because he knew. You know what I'm saying? He knew what time it was, and he was like, when this moment happened, I'm gonna show y'all. When this moment happened right here, everybody lost it, including Jameis Winston. When this moment happened right here, and this man was hanging from the chandeliers, it was a wrap. Like, they were like, at this point, Luda got to come to every game. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out the ceiling rapping. Soulja Boy can't say he did that first. He cannot say it. He did not do that first. He did a lot of stuff first. The Soulja Boy did not hang from a team dome and rap. He ain't did that one. And that one belongs to Christopher Bridges. And if it takes that for us to win every game, sir, I might as well go ahead and get you more bungee cords. And yeah, we're gonna make this we're gonna make it a permanent fixture. You're really gonna be a chandelier up there, all right? Because right? Yeah, so thank y'all for joining again. I think I mentioned all my sponsors. Life Over Death, Brand Works. Oh, one of my main supporters, the Light Hebrew Magazine. Y'all share my stuff more than me, and I appreciate it. Hold on, let me get y'all right. Let me get y'all right, because the Light Hebrew Magazine deserves one of these too. Y'all share my stuff. Y'all share my stuff more than, like I said, more than me, and that's tough, right? Like I don't take it lightly. Y'all support, okay? I appreciate you. What else can I say? Like Sister Delta, the whole team over there, and a special shout out goes to, I guess I have to say everybody. The Truth Be Told Flex podcast, their whole crew, Io, Sheer, all of y'all really be showing love. And if I'm leaving anybody out now, at this point, count it to my head and heart. I got a lot I want to get to. So the reason why the title this week is Who Dat is not just because the Falcons beat the Saints. But also it's about, you gotta know who you are, right? And I'm gonna just get to this. I don't want to underserve the moment by putting my own opinion in here. Hold on 1 second. We all know what happened. I'm sure everybody's heard about what happened at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I'm not going to show that video, mainly because I feel like that was a family moment that just got caught publicly, and it should have stayed that way, right? But when I started thinking back, and yes, I have shared my views um on the situation personally. I think it's a lot of development that has to happen in that situation. But I feel like the capability and possibility of development um, belongs to both sides. And I think just the way that they're navigating it moving forward is right. I'm gonna just play this clip real quick.
Soak it up and come up with what he need to do.
I want to make a name for myself. I don't want to.
You gonna make a name for yourself. You gonna make a name.
Let him do what he doing. Don't try to stop him.
Quit babying him. Let him go through it.
There's a certain structure and discipline that comes with school that King definitely needs.
That's part of the journey. You can't do it for him. His mama can't do it for him. His mama can't do it for him. Neither can I.
I don't think Tip realizes that King is really serious about creating music. I mean, we want all our kids to get out there and do what they do. But as a parent, you're torn because you want to make sure they keep their ass and get good grades.
I'm fighting for what I want. I'm
Well,
finally
keep
getting
fighting, young man. Keep fighting. Ain't gonna do nothing but make a man out you.
Don't cry.
What is you still trying to coddle him for? Let the man walk off, have some time to himself, sit down, soak it up, and come up with what he need to do.
All right. So that there's a lot of different elements in that video. But I'm not going to address, what the headline said for that. Fathers are needed in the home. Period. I saw a clip of my brothers from Sakari out at on the Beltline, and they were talking about I for full context, I'm not sure, but I know I'm not gonna misquote the idea. Basically, their point was abortion was wrong. I know they were. Oh man, y'all can't hear me. My fault. So here we go. Yeah, the world gonna act like he hard on him, of course. My fault. So I'm gonna talk about fathers being desperately needed in home a little bit. But one of my favorite clips was from my brothers at Sakari. I don't know if y'all heard me say this or not, but anyway, so they were there talking about, how they're, don't believe in the agenda of Planned Parenthood. We showed that a couple weeks ago about how, the one in Texas ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing with the money. They're under scrutiny, right? Then as they were talking about their, and specifically it was my brother, he was talking about how he didn't agree with how Planned Parenthood is going, abortion is wrong, things like that, right? And a woman heckler spoke up, yelling, talking about if a man doesn't have the ability to produce babies, then he shouldn't have a say so on what a woman does with her body. And his response, which I wholeheartedly agree with, is that if that's the case and a woman has the right to choose, then a man has the right to decide whether or not he supports and takes care of that child. Now, for context purposes, his point was not, I believe in deadbeat fathers. His point was that, yes, every man should take care of their responsibilities, and that's why male figures in the household are so important. His ultimate point was that everybody's responsible, right? And knowing who you are and your identity and being true to your, I guess you could call it your calling, really helps to kind of signify your identity, right? Um, and again, like I said, this is not so much about fathers being in the home, but I 100% agree and believe. But more so to focus on King. It's I'm sure it was not easy being the son of a famous rapper, especially whether he grew up in the hood or he grew up where I know he got his hair cut, which was not the hood. Either way it goes, there's identity journeys that you have to go through as an individual, that sometimes when you're on camera too early, it makes you have to like fight for just your own way. And I really feel like that's what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? And excuse me, I don't feel that acting out was the way for it to be done. But I think we can't underserve the moment that he has something that needs to be addressed. He has a complaint that needs to be, you know what I'm saying, like looked at. This man now going crazy in the dome trying to bucket his parents. I'm just gonna say, yeah, Dwayne, what's going on, man? I'm just gonna say it like this: when you got that type of and this is one thing, since you brought that up, Kim and North. One thing I have to say about Kanye and their drama, for lack of a better way to put it, is that they have done a very decent job of protecting their kids. As far as what they're doing, like and this is now mind you, I don't watch the whatever the name of the show is where they be on. I don't watch this one, honestly. I didn't know about this show till way after it was off the air. But I feel from what I know, and I could be wrong, that they have done a good job of protecting their kids from that limelight, because you got to give kids an opportunity to be kids. And really, I feel like what King was saying in this video was that I'm trying to figure out who I am as an artist, because he wants to be an artist, and I want to have my own path and make a name for myself outside of all these cameras in my house, because there's nothing that he can do to avoid that, right? And I feel like without having that comfort and stability and understanding within himself, at that age, may have contributed to different things that have become public knowledge, such as the Waffle House situation. You know what I'm saying? Just different things. And I saw a clip of him recently saying that he's not on the right side of the media. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you now, bruh, that's not even your concern. What your concern is doing your best to honor your parents, finding the will of God for your life, and do that, because and this media gonna be here, and one thing they ain't is forgiving. They not forgiving, right? Especially for young black men. So just do the best you can. Try to keep your nose clean, and of course, my be all and supreme advice is you get in the presence of God, hear from God, and do what He instructs you to do. But media, social media, all those things, they're not even real. You know what I'm saying? And it's so important that we give these people a chance to be themselves. Which leads to, you know what I'm saying, some of the scriptures I want to talk about. Yeah, of course. Of course, he took it too. He took it too far, but that's because when you're when the guidance is so divided, and these are rumors, so don't nobody quote me on this actual truth. When the guidance is so divided, I mean, this video feels like it's an indicator of dynamic. You know what I'm saying? The grandmama, their baby, and the boy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. He should have been able to express himself to his father, not in front of the camera. And you know what I'm saying? I think this particular situation, he wanted to be homeschooled, right? But that may not have been the best solution for him. You know what I'm saying? Now, who say that public school is, especially with the influences that these kids are getting these days? I can't say that so much. My son goes to public school, you know what I'm saying? But the most important influence starting at the home. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, of course, fathers are needed in the home. But that we have to guide these kids to know who they are. A abstract and anomaly example. Facts, 100%. This is true. It's just like we have to make sure that I agree with Tip and I don't agree with Tip. Like I said, because of the things that are happening in a lot of these schools these days. But his point was, I don't want to basically shelter him. He's like, I don't want him to be sheltered because he knew you already my son. You already the son of a rapper. So you already going to have it harder at times anyway. So sheltering him is not going to help. Here we go. Here's the example. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Biblical example. It was funny when I was reading this, and I laughed because, I like I said, I feel Tip's point and the heart behind what he was saying was 100% accurate. It's just that without balance, it led to more detriment because of the way King's life played out. You know what I'm saying? And that's still on the parents as well. You know what I'm saying? There could be personal decisions that we don't know about. And I'm not here to scrutinize anybody's household parenting or anything like that. This is just an example to you know what I'm saying, that's in the public eye that just kind of helps us say, okay, let's look at this example and figure out how we can be better for ourselves, find an identity for myself, know who I am, the best version of myself that I can be, to help for my kids. Like, I'm still appreciating and learning things about myself at 39 years old. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I'm underdeveloped. It's just that I may see something on a Chick-fil-A cup today that gives me a whole new understanding of things I do or don't like. Crazy example, but that's just my point. Like, we're always growing and developing. I was looking at this example and I was laughing because it kind of sounded like Jesus was snapping on his parents at first. I'm sure you've heard the story when he was 12 years old. They was looking for him. They couldn't find him. He was in the temple hanging out, kicking it, you know, asking questions. Both hearing him and asking him questions. Yeah. So, and then they heard him talk as well. They were astonished, according to verse 47. But specifically in verse 49, And he said, how is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business? I was like, he kind of snapped a little bit, didn't he? But what he was really saying was like, if y'all were going to look for me, why would you not think to look first? Because I'm think back to what you were told about me since pregnancy. Y'all knew who I was. Why would you not think to look here first? Right? And he had an understanding or inkling of his purpose even at 12. Right? Even so much to the point that he knew who he was sent to and people he wasn't supposed to mess with. Matthew chapter 15 proves it. I believe it's in Matthew 10 too, but this is the one a little bit more familiar. Matthew chapter 15 verse 24. It says, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And then she came and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. Now, it went on that, he still looked out. But when you know where you are in your purpose and you know what you're called to do, you don't have that identity crisis. I heard a pastor talk about when he was asking disciples, who do men say that I am? And he said, speaking on this, that even Christ had an identity crisis. I don't agree with that. I understand where he was going. But more so the fact that, he was like, what's the talk in these streets? What they saying about me around here? Not because it was going to change anything, because at 12, he already knew. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was like an identity crisis per se. Like we say right here in 15, he's like, I know who I'm sent to. So that wasn't the issue. I feel like at that point in time where he was at was like, this is not something I read. This is just my perception based on his confidence in other areas. I feel that he was like, what they saying around here? Like, to know how I make my next move. What do I need to do next? Like, and to know how much longer he was going to be here, because there was a point in time when the disciples was getting on his nerves. He was like, man, how long I got to deal with y'all? You know what I'm saying? So, and he knew when Peter kicked back the answer to him, he was like, you are, I don't want to misquote, but you know what I'm saying? You are the Christ, the Son of the living God, something like that, right? And he was like, flesh and blood and revealed it to you, meaning that now y'all getting information directly from up high without me having to sit here and baby and coddle y'all, because it's time for y'all to grow up, right? And I think a lot of times we miss the opportunity to put in action the wisdom that we have because of so many things that are at our disposal. And honestly, even though it wasn't wrong for Tip to say, you know what I'm saying, hey, let him go to public school, whatever. I need him to not be robbed of his childhood. I understood King to say, and look at what I'm dealing with. I need to walk into my purpose. Now, he was misguided 100%. Okay. He was misguided because he thought he knew the way. That wasn't it. Right. But I respect anybody that says, I know what I'm supposed to do. I need the width, the breadth to do it. Right. Because here's a reality. On the other side of that is a person that ain't got no vision for themselves. That ain't got no drive. That ain't got no determination. And I guarantee you, those are the ones really gotta watch, because there's no motivation, there's no passion, there's no what's anointing or whatever. Like ain't nothing to verify or validate their who they are with, right? Even to the point, look at Matthew 28, right? Matthew 20 was done. He done kicked all the game he can. Like, died, rose. Now I'm about to be up out of here for. I'm gone for good. Here it goes. Best piece of advice I can give. Matthew 28, verse 19. Says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, and to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I'm with you always to the end." So not only is Christ telling, now I taught you and help you identify your purpose. Now it's time for you to go and replicate this system elsewhere. But it didn't happen before he knew the identity of who they are through their understanding of what God has commanded to do, that they can walk it out on their own. But the moment that Simon was able to say, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God," then, so he's like, okay, y'all finally getting it. Golly. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because if you just look around, the ability to doubt yourself, to not have confidence is abundant. Like I just said, look at social media. The comparisons are ridiculous that people have against them. You're looking at highlight reels. So trying to find out who you are or your relevance in the world based off of only the successes that a person posts of their life, is a waste of time. 100% waste of time. Like, y'all don't know, I could have had the worst day of my life right now. As long as I don't make it look like it, you won't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm one of the individuals, I try to kick it. Like, honestly, I tell y'all now, today was not my best day, for real. But in the midst of all of that, it's like, here's to make it make sense. When you get into them crunch time moments, when you get into them tough moments, if you don't know who you are, you're bound to fail. If you don't know, I'm telling you, if Jesus did not know that he was sent here to die for everybody's sin, right? If he didn't have that understanding, knowing that God has provided a means of escape, an additional plan, yeah, it's gonna hurt. This is probably gonna be the worst pain you're gonna feel in your life. But that there wasn't a bigger purpose, and he even said it. He was like, "Man, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, your will be done." Why? Because he still knew who he was. It don't feel good. I'm finna die for these folk. Die? I'm gonna raise you back up. All right, that's deep, but I know who I am. The Bible says, "Greater is he that's in you than he." That's how you find your identity, because trying to verify and validate by external influence, external sources, you're always gonna come up short. Right? Like die. You don't mean like go to sleep? I'm gonna die. These folk gonna kill me, dog. That's crazy. But like, I'm sure it was easier. I could not do it. I have not the anointing oneth me. I haveth not the anointing oneth me to die for anybody other than my family, my close friends. And I can't even say what I'm going to do in that moment. I hope I'm about that business. Nobody can say what they're gonna do until they face with that moment. But anyway, it's easier to make any decision like that in your life when you're confident about who. And here's the point. 1 Peter chapter 2. This is chapter 2 verse 9. Ooh, excuse me. You are a chosen generation, a royal priest, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that you should show forth praises of him who has called you out of darkness into. Now that sounds like some good. I'm a royal priesthood, a chosen generation. Now I can deal with that. But if I don't know who I am, I don't have it's just gonna look like words in a book. And to even help you understand what it's talking about, like verses basically like 10 through the rest is referencing the Torah, how to live. Because you're not going to see this, you're not going to experience if you don't have the lifestyle of who you claim to be. That's why this show is called Who That. Because it's like, who are you? Who are you really? There was a lyric, I'm trying to remember who said it. Was who you was before you changed clothes. Jay-Z, right? But that's so true. Like money, marriage, life changes, period. Just makes people more of who they are. Now, you can change and you can evolve, right? And nobody should be willing to not have some type of evolutionary understanding, way of life about themselves. Especially if you got the word of God in your life. Why? Because at the end of the day, if I'll use me for example. I figured I was doing all right prior to 3 years ago, and then my good brother, my homie, Monologue Dante, showed me things of the Bible that applied to me that have been looked over and taught over for years. And I'm talking about, I was a bacon eater, crab leg eater, like all of that. But once I understood, I can't say, okay, well, it's too late now. Oh well. I'm changing. And the more I have a revelation and understanding of Word of God, the more I have a revelation and understanding of myself, my family, these things contribute to that said change. As I encourage us all to do, to have your identity, but be willing to be better. Willing to be better. If in that when the disciples went to sleep on Jesus, he had to choose to be better because he didn't want to die. And I'm sure probably knew them folk were gonna fall asleep before he even started praying. I know I ain't got nobody but myself, and I gotta choose. Sometimes that's tough. I am not here to kick it, make it seem like it's going right, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you that the reward was worth it. If I said that the reward wasn't worth it, then that would be. Here's the truth. You're a royal priesthood, chosen generation. That's worth something. That's worth persevering for. that's worth going through a right? I say so. What's the opposite of a nobody? That's not an option for me. That is not an option for me. Not the case. Not that will not be the case in my life. Listen, I want to tell y'all from the bottom of my heart. This I started doing this podcast because I felt like that's what God wanted me. Okay. I want to say that before I even make this transition because it was not easy. What's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't easy to just start and pretend like everything gonna fall in place. Because let me tell y'all, when I say it has not, okay, has not, and that's okay. I'm not mad. I'm like, that's just part of the journey of, you know what I'm saying, just where it's leading. You know what I'm saying? But I want y'all to know that when you get in the presence of God and do what He's telling you to do, life is easy, okay? And I'm not saying that like to try to make something spooky or weird to y'all. It's true. It does get easy. And you know what I'm saying? If anybody, point that I'm making is that putting this on for y'all is not cheap. You know what I'm saying? Now we're on Nastya TV, on Roku and Fire Stick. That's who I forgot to shout out. We on Roku and Fire Stick now. I want to thank you because listen, man, I was at my parents' house and I showed the podcast to my mom. Now, I did not show her this for this reason. But when you see your parents or your close loved ones appreciate something that you put your all into, there's a type of gratification that comes from that you can't put in work. You know what I'm saying? And they gave me pointers that, you know, some are relevant, some I can't rock with, but they know that. But just to put it on, it's not easy, y'all. And so anyway, saying all that to say, here's the Cash App. If you choose to make a donation, you know what I'm saying, I greatly appreciate it. There is no requirements. I ain't gonna stop doing it. Donations are not the reason I'm here, right? But not doing donations is now disobedience because I know who. So I'm just giving you an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, if y'all feel led, there it go. No, but I am extremely honored to be here before y'all. I'm working on my timing, y'all. I get so much going on, so much information going on today that sometimes I get carried away and I look up and I'm like, oh dang, let me go ahead and get started. So I'm working on that. Need to set an alarm. We gonna work on that too. But I want y'all to know I love y'all. And I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. Thought you was gonna get rid of me. Should try harder because now I'm getting in the swing of things. I'm getting more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And share this live with somebody if you don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, it's only going up. Only going up, and I ain't going nowhere unless the Most High tell me to. I don't see him telling me to start something to stop it. That ain't my business, so I'm playing. But all that being said, Dog King 7, appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. And Appreciate y'all.